Good morning. So far we have been discussed about evaluation of definite integrals using residue theorem. In case of type 1, that is real definite integrals involving trigonometric functions, that is cos theta and sin theta, integration around unit circle in case of type 1. Here what we have been done instead of cos theta we have been put it as 1 by 2 z plus 1 by z, where z is e to the power I theta. Actually z is equal to r e to the power I theta, as radius is 1, so e to the power z is equal to e to the power I theta, and sin theta we have been put it as 1 by 2i into z minus 1 by z. Then we have been solved the type 1 integral. Then we have been considered about type 2, which is rational algebraic integrals, like minus infinitive to infinitive fx dx, where fx is equal to px by qx. The conditions is that qx is at least 2 degree greater than that of the px, and the process of evaluation of type 2 integral we have been discussed systematically, and also we have been worked the problems on the type 2 integral. Then type 3 integral, which is belongs to evaluation of improper integrals of the form of cos mx fx dx or sin mx fx dx, that has been also systematically discussed. Here also we have been considered qz is at least 2 degree greater than that of the pz. To solve this integral in case of type 2 and type 1, in case of type 2 and type 3, the so-called integral fz dz cr will be equal to 0 according to estimation lemma. According to estimation lemma, this value will be equal to 0. Similarly, the type 3 is solved if the integral contains cos or sin, then it can be considered as for the cos it will be considered as the real part of e to the power imz fz. If sin will be present, then it can be considered as imaginary part of e to the power imz and fz. Here also in case of type 3, the as qz is greater than that of 2 degree greater than that of the pz, so the value of e to the power imz fz according to estimation lemma, it will be 0. Then we found the integral value at the end of the solution of the problem. But in case of type 2 and type 3, we got the poles which is inside that semicircle, means whatever the poles we have been got, that poles are inside this semicircle. For type 3, if you are going to go to search again about your problems belongs to type 3, you can found all the poles are belongs to this region. In case of type 2 also same, all the poles we can found in this region. But if the poles are found on this real axis, then how it can be solved? How it will be solved? That is classified to type 4. Classified to type 4. So the type 4, or that is evaluation of improper integrals with singular points on the real axis, or may not inside this region. In case of type 4, we can get the singular points on the real axis, may or may not inside this region. So any question we are going to face regarding definite integral, if we found the poles are on the real axis, then it will be considered as type 4 integral. So type 4 is belongs to if the poles or singular point will be observed on the real axis. That's it. So when the integral have poles on the real axis, then we can consider a closed contour C which avoid these poles on the real axis. See, the closed contour C means we have to consider CR up to this much, minus R. Here you have to write plus R. Plus R to minus R, then minus R to minus R, this is segment, then minus R to R, that is CR, this is semicircle, half circle, semicircle, then plus small r to plus large R. So wherever you have to start, suppose here you have been started, it will be like this, then this will be called as C. That means the C is splitted into how many fractions? C. The integration of C, if I am going to write, then it will be addition of integration of CR plus minus R to this much, the line segment, minus R to minus a small r, plus then CR, half circle CR, integration over CR, plus R to plus large R. So the so-called C, whatever the closed curve we have been considered, that is splitted like this. Here in this figure we have only one singular point which is at origin. If we have more than one singular point in the origin, then the so-called closed contour C, in which way it will be splitted, that we have to discuss here. Now consider figure 2. This is your figure 1. Now consider the figure 2. So this is your figure 2, in which we have three singular points. One is at origin, another is at in positive side, positive x-axis direction, suppose you can say positive real axis, and one is at negative, on the negative real axis, like this. So it is named as, suppose this is called as z equal to 0 at the origin, this is 0, and this is named as z1, this is named as z2, and this small semicircle is named as it is 2, it is written as C2R. this is CR and this is C1R. As it is Z1, it is named as C1R. Let all the semicircles radius, this semicircle's radius is R. This is also R, this is also R. But name these semicircles named as C2R, as it is named as Z2. So this semicircle named as C2R, as it is Z1, this semicircle named as C1R. Okay. So as it is Z2, this location is Z2 and this distance is R, and this is 0, so obviously it will be minus Z2 and this will be minus Z2 minus ZR. So this location will be minus Z2 minus ZR, and this is Z2, and this location will be minus Z2 plus R. Okay. Now as it is 0, this will be minus R, this location is minus R, and this location is plus R. That means 0 minus R. Here R is also a real number. So R, 0 minus R will be minus R, 0 plus R will be, that is plus R. Now as it is location is Z1 and this radius is R, so this location will be Z1 plus R, and this location will be Z1 minus R, and this is plus large R. So now the so-called C closed curve is, suppose you have been started here, so it will be this large semicircle which is named as CR, then minus R to this location, then half circle, small half circle, then this segment, then this small half circle, then this segment, then this small half circle, then this segment. That means from here, watch, like this to this, semicircle, segment, semicircle, segment, semicircle, and it is ended here. This is called as C. So this C or closed curve not contained or drawn in such a way that the singular points has been avoided. So that C can be splitted and written in the form of like this. See, the integration over C, that will be fz dz. We can write, I not written the function here, only to discuss over the splitting of C only. I have only written integration of C will be equal to how this C is splitted C. That will be CR plus minus R2, that is minus R2, this location is minus Z2R. Okay. Then CR2 plus Z2 plus R2 minus Z2 plus R2 minus R, then plus CR plus R2 Z1 minus R plus R2 minus Z1 minus R plus C1R plus Z1 plus R2 plus R. So this C is segmented or splitted into these small portions. Okay. Using this concept, now we have to work out a problem from which we can confirm over, or we can solve the type 4 definite integral. Consider the problem that evaluation of 0 to infinity sin mx by x dx where m is greater than 0. Here we can observe that the pole is at 0 on the real axis. To solve this type of problem or type 4 problem, consider I is equal to closed integral c e to the power imz by z into dz, or closed integral c f1z dz, that f1z is nothing but fz into e to the power imz. Fz is 1 by z. Okay, so here c consists of this c closed curve consists of CR, a larger semicircle of radius r, plus line segment minus r to small minus r to small minus r, then semicircle CR of radius r whose equation is z mod equal to r, whose radius is r, and then line segment from plus r to plus r on the real axis. So C is splitted like this. Okay, the pole of function is at z equal to 0 and there is no singularity in the interior of C. Then by Cauchy's residue theorem, what we can write? In general, the Cauchy's residue theorem is closed integration of fz dz is equal to the same thing. The splitted form of C is this one. I can write over here that CR fz dz plus minus r to minus r fx dx, because as it is on the real axis, so instead of z also I can write x. So CR fz dz r to r fx dx is equal to sum of residues. Sum of residues means consider the so-called poles which is inside this region. But in this function we could not found any type of singular point inside this region. So there is no singular point inside this region, means the residue will be, there is no residue, hence the residue will be equal to 0 because no poles in the defined region C. So now, but according to Jordan's lemma, limit r tends to infinite CR fz into e to the power imz dz equal to 0. Now the previous equation number 1 will be for r tends to 0 and r tends to infinite this term, the first term will be equal to 0. The first term will be equal to 0. The second term and this term, if I am going to be and the second term will be minus r to 0 because small r tends to 0 plus CR fz dz plus 0 to infinite because r tends to infinite f1x dx. So this will be, as it is minus infinite to 0 and this integral is 0 to infinite, I can add these two and it can be written as minus infinite to infinite f1x dx plus CR f1z dz. So f1x can be written as e to the power imx by x dx e to the power imz by z CR dz equal to 0. So instead of z, if I am going to put z is equal to r e to the power I theta, if we are going to put z is equal to r e to the power I theta, then dz is equal to I r e to the power I theta into d theta. Obviously, this r e to the power I theta is z. So that implies dz by z is equal to I into d theta. So in this, limit r tends to 0, e to the I m z by z into dz, limit r tends to 0. The polar form of this can be written like this: e to the power I m r e to the I theta. So dz by z is equal to I theta, I into d theta, and that will be pi to 0. This is from pi to 0 because if we are going to consider this semicircle, small semicircle, that it is moving from pi to 0, so that only the integral will be pi to 0, from pi to 0. Okay, so integral will be pi to 0, this much. So limit r tends to 0 is equal to this, limit r tends to 0, this much I d theta. Putting r is equal to 0 here, it will be e to the power 0 equal to 1, e to the power 0 equal to 1. So pi to 0 I d theta will be minus I pi. Now the value of this one we found minus I pi. Hence this equation number 2 will be minus infinitive to infinitive e to the power I mx by x into dx minus I pi is equal to 0, or that is minus infinitive to infinitive e to the power I mx by dx, I mx by x into dx is equal to I pi. But e to the power I mx is nothing but cos mx plus I sin mx. Hence this will be written as cos mx by x dx, I into minus infinity to infinity sin mx by x into dx is equal to I pi. So as per the question, we have to find out sin mx by dx. So comparing this imaginary term with right hand side, we can found minus infinity to infinity sin mx by x dx is equal to pi. Hence 0 to infinity sin mx by x into dx will be pi by 2. That we have been found the answer of this one is like this, is pi by 2. So one thing